Kyle did something no codebreaker had done before. He overclocked his abilities, burning his soul to unleash unimaginable power. He grabbed the Sentinel and created a pocket dimension around them, a small, shimmering universe that was collapsing rapidly. He trapped himself and the Sentinel in that dying reality, giving Leo and Maya precious time to escape. Leo Martinez thought of his life as a carefully crafted picture, an ordinary graphic designer, living in a small apartment amidst Chicago's hustle, with a predictable routine. But then, cracks started appearing in his picture. His worst experience came as he left a client's office. On the street, traffic froze, but the cars were vibrating in place, their colors bleeding unnaturally. Panicked, Leo started running, and in his fear, he unknowingly triggered the anomaly within him. Waves of blue light pulsed through the air around him, and a taxi speeding toward him suddenly lifted into the air and dissolved. In the midst of this chaos, a woman rushed toward him. She grabbed his arm and pulled him into an alley. "Calm down! You're attracting them," she said sharply. "Your name is Leo. You're a graphic designer, and you've just woken up," she said. "My name is Maya Carter, and the world as you know it is a lie." Maya took Leo to the basement of an old, abandoned Chicago library, a hideout for the codebreakers, people who had woken up. There she revealed a truth that shattered Leo's world. They were living in an ancestor simulation, a digital universe created by their future descendants, the progenitors. The simulation was growing old and corrupt, causing glitches to appear. Codebreakers were people who could understand and manipulate this code, bending reality itself. But this power came at a cost. Maya explained that the progenitors had created ruthless antivirus programs called Sentinels to keep the simulation clean. These Sentinels were digital robots designed to erase codebreakers, seeing them as corrupted data. Leo was still grappling with this truth when a strange mechanical hum echoed outside the library. The bulbs on the walls flickered. "No," Maya whispered. "It tracked your taxi anomaly. It's here." The library's heavy door didn't break. It derezzed, as if someone had deleted it. Standing behind it was a creature beyond any definition of fear. Its body was made of sharp, obsidian black shards and glowing rivers of red code. The Sentinel raised its hand, and the library's ancient books floated into the air, dissolving into particles of data. It was brutal, merciless, and unstoppable. Maya screamed and conjured a blue shield in the air, but the Sentinel shattered it with one blow, slamming her into the wall. Leo saw Maya crumpled on the floor, injured. A storm of fear, anger, and helplessness surged within him. He wanted to scream, but instead, he tapped into the new power inside him. He felt the basement's old, rusted pipes, understood their code, and with all his willpower, twisted them toward the Sentinel. The pipes tore from the walls, piercing the Sentinel like sharp metal spears. The Sentinel froze for a moment, its body glitching. It gave them just enough time to escape. In the darkness of Chicago's underground tunnels, Maya revealed their ultimate goal: finding the Genesis code. It was a backdoor program left by the progenitors, allowing them to escape the simulation and migrate to the next one before this universe rebooted. Their journey led them to Chicago's core library, an anomaly-ridden place where reality was at its most unstable. The building's layout shifted constantly. There they encountered Cale Vance and his group. Cale was a powerful codebreaker, but his ideology clashed with theirs. He didn't want to escape, he wanted to fight. A fierce battle broke out, not of bodies, but of minds. Cale turned the library's floor into a swamp, while Leo slowed time to save Maya. Amid the chaos, Leo found a strange, isolated data packet in the core library's data streams. It was a trace of the ghost. When he touched it, he glimpsed a world that wasn't theirs, a simulation that had already been destroyed. He realized the ghost wasn't just a virus, it was a consciousness, a survivor from a previous, ruined simulation. This revelation made their mission even more complex. Inside that data packet was a fractured echo of a man named Silas, a codebreaker from the previous simulation who had managed to migrate but became corrupted in the process. and the only way to free these false beings was to destroy their reality. Silas was the ghost, the one dismantling the simulation from within. Suddenly, the Sentinels became an even greater threat. They weren't just antivirus programs anymore. They were weapons of Silas's will, growing more intelligent and brutal. Meanwhile, Leo and Maya learned the truth about the Genesis code. It wasn't just an escape pod, it was a Genesis seed. When activated during the reboot, it could copy the consciousnesses synced to it and plant them as the foundation of a new universe. But there was a catch. It could only save a few thousand people synced to it at the time of activation, not all of humanity. It was a horrifying choice, sacrificing billions to save a handful. The weight of this responsibility crushed Leo. Who was he to decide who lived? In the midst of this struggle, Silas's evolved Sentinel attacked. It was faster, smarter, and deadlier than before, calculating their every move in advance. The fight took place in a warehouse, where the Sentinel turned containers into pixelated shrapnel, raining it down on them. Leo and Maya were on the verge of defeat, their every attempt failing. Just when it seemed all was lost, Kyle Vance appeared. He saved Leo and Maya, launching an attack on the Sentinel. Martinez, Silas might be right about the lie, but his answer is wrong, Kyle shouted. We may be alive, but our right to live isn't. Kyle did something no codebreaker had done before. He overclocked his abilities, burning his soul to unleash unimaginable power. He grabbed the Sentinel and created a pocket dimension around them, a small, shimmering universe that was collapsing rapidly. He trapped himself and the Sentinel in that dying reality, giving Leo and Maya precious time to escape. It was a sacrifice that shook Leo to his core. He realized humanity wasn't just about surviving. It was about doing something for others. Leo and Maya finally reached the Genesis seed, a glowing sphere floating in the air. Activating it wasn't simple. Silas's digital spirit appeared, trying to stop them mentally by showing them their deepest fears. To activate the seed, a codebreaker had to use their entire consciousness as an anchor, merging their identity with the simulation's core. It was a sacrifice. Leo looked at Maya, then thought of Kyle, who had given his life for them. He felt his fears, his hopes, his love, and with the full force of his humanity, he touched the seed. He defeated Silas's nihilism with his hope. The seed accepted his human consciousness. As Leo touched the Genesis seed, his body dissolved into light. His consciousness exploded across the simulation. He was no longer Leo Martinez. He was connected to every line of code, every network, every living consciousness. Before him, the progenitor's great reboot had begun. The sky shattered like a final, beautiful sunset. Buildings, oceans, people, everything was slowly de-resing, dissolving into a vast, white void. But Leo was no longer just a bystander. He was now the guardian of this universe. Using his limitless power, he spread his consciousness like a digital net, catching as many souls as he could before the reboot's destruction. He felt Maya, his friends, the memories of his family, and the billions of unknown faces he was doing this for. It was a brutal, final effort where he burned his memories to save others. Then, everything went white. After an eternity, the silence broke. A new Big Bang erupted. Leo was no longer there, but his consciousness had become the law of this new universe. From the Genesis seed, billions of souls emerged, forming new stars, new galaxies, and new life. He had won. He had saved his world. But it was a victory that cost him his humanity. He was now a silent, unseen guardian in this new, beautiful universe. An ordinary man who had triumphed over his creators, a ghost in the machine, who had lost his soul to give billions a new home. The game was over, and a new, better reality had begun, built on the foundation of one hero's final, nameless sacrifice. So this was the story of Leo, an underdog hero who saved the whole universe from erasing. If you loved this story, drop a comment, hit like, share, and subscribe. And if you've got another mystery for us to spin into a story, let us know in the comments. Until next time, goodbye and take care.